Does that work? Oh, okay, that sounds better on my end. Okay, I think that worked. Okay, cool. That was weird. I don't know what the deal was with that, but good. I'm glad it sounded fine on my end too when I turned on my audio from my computer. So, really weird. Okay, cool. It was a worthwhile fix then. Wonder what that was about. We'll never know. That's okay. So, that was weird, right? Exactly. Exactly. That was ghosts and something messing up my Wi-Fi for a second. You know, you get a lot of them out in the country here, so it makes total sense. That's too long. Well, hopefully you have nothing to do today and you can just chill for the entire day. Good. What movie? Anything good? I went a little overboard. Yeah. Christina, welcome back. How's it going? Since 20 seconds ago. I'm sorry to hear about your teapot, by the way. It was so pretty. I know I already said that, but nice. Solid. Agreed. It did feel too long. So, something that I was kind of thinking about making today were plates. Now, there's some issues with plates. Mainly, I don't have space for them. But I keep getting asked for plates. So that's something we can consider making. Sarah, what's up? How are ya? It so rarely fills it in, you know? I wish it did more often, but it's like it's pretty rare. I have so I actually had plates in the last two firings, but they were like 3-inch plates. They were only this big. And so they were for I kept some for Olive and things like that to put her fish on. But like an actual plate, I mean, literally, I think the last actual plates I made were those 7 years ago. So I think there would probably be some interest. Um, I think there would be some interest in plates. No, Michael, I just like to make a bunch of stuff. It's just kind of a fun hobby of mine. Um, there's no money in pottery, you know. Uh, okay, why don't we why don't we make a couple plates with the remaining clay that we have? These people have been wanting to buy plates for a while now, so I keep getting requests. I got 2 requests yesterday if I'm going to make plates anytime soon. Sorry, Mike, I was lying. It's my full-time job. Everything that you see here today, I'm selling. I don't take requests from nobody. Never. You know what's crazy is that like um, whenever I get a request for something that's moderately interesting and I decide to do it, it's never great, except for my tea dealer because he always has like weird ideas. But when I'm told what I have to do that day, I just hate it. I hate it so much. Um, I clearly do not like being told what to do. Well, no, you make very little money when you do this, Michael. This is a so if you did like Joyce, what's up? If you did like electric fired pottery, you can make probably a living relatively easily. Um, Not relatively, it would still be a lot of work. The way we're doing it, there's so much labor and other pricing to go into things. Ooh, I'm getting oil. Exciting. Um, there's so little money, which is why I'm gonna have to increase my prices on this next firing. I just I can't. When I did some math this morning, I realized that I can't um, I can't keep the prices as they are. They have to be a little bit. Oh yeah, he is a wonderful guy, and he comes up with the silliest ideas. And I yeah, did you guys see my three spouted? Two spouted three-handled teapot I made for him the other day. I was spectacular. uh, I made it for him like the other day. This was like a year ago. Um, oh, 100%, Michael. I'm actually just incredibly lucky that I can do this full time. I mean, uh, I'm very, very lucky. So I've also now kind of decided not fully committed to not going to NCECA this year by saying I'm going to fire my kiln. I just don't want to fly to Utah. Um, so I think I'm just going to hang out, maybe go on like a 20-mile hike with the dog for my birthday instead of going to NCECA. It always sits on the same time as my birthday. So wait, Luna, are you still in here? And were you lying about your birthday being on the same day? Oh yeah, no, I've made a bunch of double spouted stuff in the past. I've made a bunch of everything in the past, and I just kind of full circle and go back and forth and stuff like that. Thank you, Sharp. Yeah. The thing about what I've learned is that the most profitable is teaching private lessons. That seems like the best bet, honestly. I and I that's what I teach a lot of private lessons on top of doing everything that we're doing. But I need consistent students, and that's a hard one to find. I can always get one-off students and things like that, but I want more consistent people. I have two really consistent people, and I would like two more. That would be ideal, if not more. And ideally, I got this one guy to do this. Is build his own studio, and then I go over to his place every so often, every twice a week. And this has a huge issue in it. This isn't going to work, um, or will it? And throw at his spot. I'd love a couple more students like that. And I know there's money around here to do that. And that's how you're really going to learn because you have your own setup. I come to you, we just talk about the nitty gritty stuff. This one's just disgusting. Oh, it's not attached to the thing. Did you see that? It's not. It's not even on. I was wondering why it was not like throwing properly. It was literally not attached to the bat. Interesting. I appreciate that, Sharp. Yeah, the one off is great. The consistency I think is kind of like more helpful for me because then I'm not. What happened when I had a bunch of one off students is that I'd have like when I was doing this a little bit more involved, I'd have like 10 students a week, but it would be like, are they actually showing up? Like, when is it happening? Time changes on all of them. And it was just trying to manage all of it and then also throw. It was just becoming a headache. I did that for a couple months and then I just had to be like, I can't keep it up. I know, you're very far away. That's all right. That's okay. I appreciate that, Christina. All right. Yeah. I maybe the goal here in the far out future is I'm just going to be a traveling teacher and I'll just go from place to place and just have like be really cool is have like that's yeah. I know I just have to find the people who are local. Um, but think about this, okay? I'm trailing behind me, has a full pottery studio, a kiln in it, electric kiln, or like something that has a flue out the top, has two standing wheels in it, and it's just like a trailer with some windows in it. And I just travel around the country giving lessons. I mean, how cool would that be? Or like a traveling wood kiln in the back, or a gas kiln in the back of it too. I mean, okay, things to think about in the future. Um, I have to figure out how much that would cost. I mean, I have everything already. I literally have everything you need, minus the vehicle. Yeah. Well, the kiln would like be built into the side of it in my mind. Or like just like a little rocket kiln that comes out. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. It's a kiln. No, you know what? It doesn't even have to be built. It's a little Lisa Orr rocket kiln that can be prefabbed anywhere that I'm going to teach a 2-day workshop. And we could just like make stuff, build the kiln together, fire it, disassemble, put it away, and then I just like go off to the next state or whatever. Um, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, that is a far away concept. So no one get their hopes up on that one. because the first thing I would like to do, I think it'd be really cool. Um, the thing, the Yeah, I like the kiln actually being outside. I like the idea of like like building the kiln each time, and that can be like a part of the workshop and the whole thing. Um, Luna, welcome back. Um, and yeah, interesting. But before that happens, my assumption is what's the next big thing around here is going to be uh, a residency program at my studio, um, which I think would be cool. The only thing about that though is that, depending on how long the residency program was, if it was like a couple months, um, then we could fire my kiln. It just, it requires a certain amount of stuff to fire. So do I need Demi Moore? No. Are you trying to be my Demi Moore? Is that what you're saying? Because that I could get behind. Nicole. I wasn't gonna say that this time, Christina, because she was gonna get mad at me again. But we actually were talking about you. Man. I Yeah, well, I like the idea. Yes, it would. But I do like the idea of having to uh, like put the whole thing together because then it shows the ease at which you can put together a rocket kiln, and I think that would be kind of nice. Because I think it is daunting to fire a kiln, and I think when people think wood kilns, they only think of anagamas and big kilns, and they have to fire for a certain amount of hours here. I need to put another log on my fire real quick. And all these things, like these potters, this is something I've learned, is potters who do not own a wood kiln crave big, long firings and like lots of ash and all this stuff. And um, I think you can use a lot of soft ash, soft brick for these prefab kilns, Christina. I think the amount of actual hard brick you need is pretty low. I think you only need, I don't even know, like, I think it's not even 200 bricks for the whole build. And that would include the soft and the hard. So, and then you don't even need a brick chimney. You can just get a double walled insulated stove piping for the chimney of it. And that's going to be less weight than the combined amount of um, bricks that would be there for the chimney. So I think there's ways around it. Okay, but my point is that people keep talking about these big kilns and they romanticize it, and then when people then ask people who romanticize it, they're like, "Oh, but you have to have these like 4 days firings to get all the flashing and all the ash and all that." And yeah, you definitely have to do that if you want consistent results with the flashing and stuff. But you can add soda ash and you can get this flashing and sheen in 10 hours. Like you don't need to do that. It's I've environmentally not friendly if you're going to wood fire, if we're talking about it in that light. It's faster, it's more laborious, you have to have more stuff, the kiln needs more maintenance. It's just like, I don't know. I was having a conversation with the guy the other day who wanted to build a kiln, and we had a nice talk about it. I'm like, you should build a rocket kiln. And then he talked to this other guy who is not a full-time potter, does not own a wood kiln, and he was like talking him out of it, and being like, no, you have to build a big kiln that fires for, for 4 days minimum. And it's like, oh God, give that advice when you own a kiln. Until then, and own that specific kiln that you're talking about. Until then, you can't give that advice. Um, Lucky, I want a bath. Lilac, we're making small cups, Guinomi sized. I wish my bath was bigger. Mine's like so shallow that my like most of me is exposed, and it's like, oh, exactly. You want something small that we can be quick, that can be done in 6 hours, so people can walk away with their pots at the end of the day. And yes, we will after we finish the balls of these we will make some plates. Hmm. Exactly. Um, I even a small kiln like mine that's only 9 feet long. It only holds 12 by 24 shelves, and then you also have space on the base to put stuff. Um, but the amount of maintenance and extra work that you guys will never see because it's boring and I have to walk around and it's not like I can't show you because you'd have to be like mounted to me somehow, and I don't have the Wi-Fi accessibility to do that. The amount of maintenance and extra stuff that has to be bought and prepped and scheduling and all these other things is a lot. And like you don't know any of it until you actually have one yourself. And then if it's a big kiln, like the Anagama I fire in um, August, 52 people fire that kiln. It takes 10 days and 8 cords of wood. Who's like trying to figure out shift schedules, getting all that wood together, making sure there's enough pots, the loading days, the correct stack. I mean, there is so much that goes into it. And I feel like these other people who are just like, yeah, just fire a wood kiln and romanticize it. It's like they don't. It's like no, you can't just do that. You can do that with an electric kiln. You can do that with a gas kiln. You can't do that with an atmospheric, especially a wood kiln. But I don't know. Thanks, Spear. That sounds like a great size kiln, Raven. Hmm. Nice and small. Like why build anything bigger? I even closed half of my kiln down. My kiln, it doesn't even use the whole 9 feet. There's a whole back section that is I put big pots in just to take up thermal mass, but I put in a bag wall in halfway through my kiln. Um, so it's half the length that actually used to be because I realized that it was silly to fire the whole thing for that long. Plus, what was happening is that the back section was hitting around cone 7 and the front section was hitting cone 11. And it was then taking about 22 hours to fire the kiln. And so I had to use two different clay bodies, which was cool because I had this really beautiful black cone 6 that I used to put in the back. And so I have that, and then I'd have, my normal stuff in the front. And it worked, but it was a lot more kind of like planning and thinking and like how much black clay do I need and how much porcelain do I need? And, if I'm using other people's stuff, it's like, is their stuff cone 6? Is their stuff cone 10? Where do I put it? Am I going to mix it up? Blah, blah, blah. Uh, it's my own design, but if you had to classify it, would be a tube kiln or a coffin kiln. But mine's a graduating coffin kiln, so it goes. I don't remember the dimensions at the moment, but it rises about 2 feet to the back flue part. Um, it's 9 feet long by 4 or 5 feet wide, because I can get into it. So it's well maybe 4.5 feet wide, something like that. It's a nice size kiln. If it was I'm on a live at the moment. If it was any big, so before I bricked it up, you had to really climb inside it, and it was a pain in the ass, and I was just over it. And so that was also a part of the reason that I wanted to break up the back, so I could load it more easily by myself and not worry about the kiln collapsing on me, which a previous kiln I built that I really cut a lot of corners, it was a sprung arch kiln, did collapse on me while I was loading, luckily just near the very end. But I did a catenary arch for this one. But again, my own design, and every time I fired it, I'd make adjustments. In the first 5 firings, I took the chimney up and down each time. to change things. And I changed the firebox depth, and I changed the height of the interior wall section and the floor, and I added different things. And I keep messing with the kiln until it fires how I want it to fire. But yeah, yeah, it was honestly pretty scary. Luckily, only my left arm got caught. I lost all of my pots. There was about 100 pot pieces in there. Um, I got 6 firings out of that kiln before it collapsed on me. So the kiln I currently have, I built in 2019, and I feel like I fire like 4 times, 5 times a year in that kiln, something like that. All right, we're almost done with one tray. I think I just need a mental reset for a second though. Pour myself another new cup of tea, and whatever, you know. Is it just standing for a prolonged period of time? We've been only doing this. Oh wait, this is the second video. This video's only been going for half an hour. I don't know how long the first one went for, but we've been standing for, let's say, like an hour and 15 minutes so far. So I just need a minute to reset. Also, I love this shirt. An ex of mine made it for me, and she left me the linoleum print so I could make my more of these particular ones if I want to, but I don't want to. I think there's something really special about just this one. Oh, okay. So we've been at it for like an hour and 40 minutes. I've been standing. Okay, then definitely need a cup of tea. Right? I love this one. She did such a great job. I think this is her first t-shirt she made too. So I don't generally get emotional when I get a gift, but um, this is what she gave me for Christmas, and I started crying. I was like, really sweet. I was not expecting it. Um, so uh, I would love to build a rocket kiln. I'm trying to talk a student of mine into building one, but he's not ready for it. And we might just build a prefab kiln for him. So I promised. So I have the perfect kiln body sitting in 2 shelves. So I have 2 electric kilns in the wall behind me, and then in the room behind my kiln room, I have this old raku kiln that I was gifted many, many, many years ago, and it's been sitting there, and I haven't figured out what to do with it. I was going to turn it back into a raku kiln. I think I will not, but I will probably turn that one into a rocket kiln at some point just to see what happens. I just out of curiosity. It'd be fun to build with you guys. I might host it as a workshop at some point. But it's like the perfect body for I'm probably gonna do a soda kiln. No, I do a wood rocket kiln. Why not? And use the pallets. And then because I've been talking so much positivity about these kilns, but I've never fired one. I don't even know what the work looks like. I hear it's not the best, but for 6 hours of firing and 4 pallets, I mean, why not? You know, like I can always refire the work if I don't like it. Luna, you just missed more cups. We have a bunch of cups more to go, but I need a quick moment of not making since we've been at it for about an hour and 40 minutes at the moment. So I'm using an old raku kiln mostly because um, that's what I have. Most people I feel like use old electric kilns for the rocket kilns. I had 2 bananas, sharp. Uh, but if it makes you feel any better, yesterday I ate 20 steamed buns. They were little steamed buns, but I ate 20 of them, or 10 of them, maybe 15 of them. To be honest, I don't really remember. I don't actually think it was that many. I may be exaggerating a little bit. All right, we can do 4 more on this tray. I'm just going to move it quickly. So here, this is what we've done so far, just so you guys can actually see. And I'm just going to switch out placements for these trays. So we have 4 spots left to go, but this is what we've thrown so far. Yeah, it's they were mushroom. Don't really like mushrooms, but I love steamed buns. Oh, so I guess I did have wheat the other day. Oh my God, I did. It wasn't even pretzels. I lied earlier when I said that I haven't had wheat in a million years. 100%. Yeah, I mean, Pat, I think you could make, if you had to buy from scratch, you could probably get a free electric kiln that's just absolutely disgusting and gutted, as long as the brick is in order. And then, so I've noticed, or at least I'm not entirely sure, in Lisa Orr's version of her rocket kiln, I don't think she adds any kind of refractory cement to the interior section of it, and it's all soft brick. And so as long as you're not putting in soda, you're probably fine. But Kevin Kalowski's version of his converted Cone 6 soda kiln uses a mud hay refractory cement mix thing. And I think I'll probably do that because I probably would want to add ash. I like soda. I like juicy pots. I don't like these anymore. I love these plates. I love this series. I'm not saying that. But this flashing look is so like, it was so popular 10 years ago that I saw it so often that I'm losing my mind. It's not juicy enough. I want juice to it. You have a bit of clay. I don't know. What kind of stuff would you want to make? What kind of clay is it? What did you think of the results, Christina? Because again, I haven't actually, when I try to Google results from a converted, like a rocket kiln, I don't see them. I can't figure them out. But the juice is where it's at. Exactly, Christina. The juicier, the better. And what I will say as a detriment is that I have noticed that the really, really juicy pots of mine, the ones that I like the most, are maybe sometimes too juicy. And I think that there's a lack of understanding and appreciation of what it means to get a really juicy pot from people who are actually consuming the pottery. Um, yeah, of course. 100 grams of clay. Is it metal clay? Did you buy metal clay? What kind of stuff my student makes? I can show you his Instagram if you'd like. One of them. Let me do that after I make this undulation here.